Peace and love, folks. Let's get right to it with this passage from the sermon. And for sermon, let's just think of sermon without pushing anybody away. It's just a message, right? A good message, of course, because it was provided by Jesus. Now, I might be biased, but you test it for yourself. But the Sermon on the Mount, the message on the mountain, instead of what we know that commonly the openings are with blessed, I have no disrespect for the passages of the Bible they've enriched my life beyond belief, and I'm grateful for the word. But when I'm saying blessed today, so to encourage those who may not be familiar with the Bible and not be steered off with any religious idea, it's not that I'm trying to take anything away from any religious idea, but I just want to share with you heart to heart my insights on this mind-bending thing that Jesus really started to begin with the message on the Mount. So let's just start with the first one and see where that goes if it becomes a series in that way. But happy are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You know, when you have everything, you don't really need God, right? Until you need God. And then I don't mean to say it like that with that kind of jest, but you know, sometimes when you have all the money in the world and you don't have a decent relationship in your life, you can't trust anybody, you're banged out on maybe drugs or other things online that will just reduce you and expend your valuable time, but you have money for some particular reason. It could be that you're just wealthy, you know, through logical means and through illogical means. Like, again, not to go into the dark of things, let's keep it in the light. I wouldn't be talking about Jesus. Doesn't mean I shouldn't always keep it in the light, but we're going to stay in the light today. So to be poor in spirit definitely means that you need God in your life, doesn't it? So when you don't feel like you're poor in spirit, it's not to be shamed. No, because we often think that it's the finer things in life that make life beautiful, make life heavenly. But when I think about heaven in this respect, I don't want to dishonor anything that you might personally believe about the afterlife. It's such a funny thing for me to say because life is just continuing. I mean, at some point, even before it became something in my parents' life as a child, they had to have life. So for me, I've always been very inherently grateful to be aware of the divine design in the most beautiful way. And it's not divisive the way it would be used in the global setting, like on social media. There's a harmony that all of us can take part in. But I'm always grateful that I had a relationship with God until I didn't. And when I finally did, the breakthrough was Jesus. And I was very surprised about that. And his words alone started to not only, it was more than just the words. I accepted Jesus because I was at the point where I was a zombie. I was feeling like I was the walking dead, you could say. Why am I living kind of moment. Doesn't mean I wanted to disrespect my life and take it away. No, I had enough faith in God to know that this is a beautiful gift that we're all given, and it just saddens me when we fight each other and we see the news of wars. If we're conflicting with each other, there's just one side, the bad side. We got to stop fighting with each other. And I know there's no easy way to figure that out, especially over a YouTube video. But to bring you some insight, when you have everything and you don't need God, then maybe some of the big troubles begin, right? You can do whatever you want. You could be offensive in any way you want. You've got the means, the money, the power to take care of everything. You could take somebody of their livelihood and still maybe take it even onto yourself, and then it becomes yours. Well, the commandments are very basic. They're very clear, but the one thing that, you know, took some time to understand is that we don't need commandments. We just need a true, genuine sense of love. Sure, accidents, mistakes do happen, but if we're living from love, why would we need a commandment? However, I'm not disrespecting the commandments. They're beautiful. But I want to just bring you insight today. Every life is by far richer than any material wealth in the world if you leave it open and have God in your life, because I was not rich enough at any means, nor would there be any means capable for the mind I had until God cracked me open. I don't know how that sounds to you guys, but it just meant that the light got to shine in and shine out finally. And I know that my life didn't get easier when I started to understand the truths of Jesus, but I started to feel more secure that there's going to be a source of not only inspiration, but real life. I would hope to say with a way that you would feel it. It just makes me feel more safe and secure that no matter what happens, we will all meet the same end. But in this day, when I'm scared, I'm grateful that I have God. And if you don't have God and you're scared, what do you have? I'm not saying that you should believe what I believe, but I'm still grateful I have God, because maybe if we all have the same end, that love between me and God, that's going to be forever. It's really hard to argue against Jesus. He's just dropping light everywhere. I love you guys. Take care.